Here at Zion National Park in Utah's high plateau country, millions of years of flowing water has carved the earth into a dramatic landscape of plunging canyons and soaring cliffs.
If I had to pick one word to describe the landscape here in Zion, stunning.
Much of this beauty is thanks to Zion's 2,000-foot tall Navajo sandstone. Millions of years ago, these colorful cliffs were actually sand dunes in a vast desert that stretched across part of the western United States. Along with minerals that were carried here through wind and water, this sand compressed over time to create the sandstone rock that you see now. The stunning range of colors is a result of varying amounts and forms of iron oxide.
So mostly when you're at the top of the rock, the top of these cliffs, you see a lot paler, kind of a gray or white. In the middle, it gets a little bit more pink, and on the bottom, it gets a bit more brown. At the top, we just have a little less iron in the rock. It's sort of been bleached out a little bit.
But of all the natural wonders in Zion, there is perhaps none more famous than Angel's Landing. A unique fin-shaped formation, Angel's Landing stretches 5,785 feet above sea level and juts out into the center of the main canyon. Park rangers Russ Cash and Brianna Plog volunteer to lead the way to the top.
The difference in elevation is one of those reasons that we've got so many different types of plants, so many different types of animals.
We do have the unique opportunity to be at the junction of several different ecozones. So we have the Colorado Plateau meeting around here, we have the Great Basin that meets here, and we also have the Mojave Desert. You can go back into a canyon here, and you can see things like ferns, maidenhair ferns in the back of a canyon, and then you can come out to the desert chunks of the park down here by the entrance. You can see prickly pear cactus and cholla and all kinds of other things. So we have wet environments and very dry environments.
After more than 1.5 miles of uphill hiking, Russ and Brianna reach a series of 21 man-made switchbacks known as Walter's Wiggles.
This is the beginning of what's called Walter's Wiggles.
It was named after the first manager of the park. It was his idea to build a trail up to the top of here.
Park rangers created these sharp turns by blasting apart the rock nearly 100 years ago.
You see all these little semicircular formations right here? That's not erosion, that's literally where a charge was put, and then it blew out the rocks. They're everywhere in here, and they literally blasted these right out of the side of the cliff face, put cement down and put the walls in, and called it a trail.
At the top of the Wiggles, hikers get a short break before attempting the most difficult portion of the climb.
We're sitting at the top of what is called Scouts Lookout, is where we're hanging out right now, and this is the last little plateau before we actually climb up to the top of the Angel's Landing.
Up here, the path changes from a trail into a route, meaning it's not as heavily maintained for safety.
Was it worth it?
Yep.
Sure. The trail is an actual maintained corridor that makes it easier to traverse the landscape. Here, where it becomes a route, there's no longer a packed surface. There's no longer retaining walls.
The only means of support is a single chain anchored into the narrow sandstone ridge. On the opposite side is a terrifyingly sheer drop-off.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Great.
General rule of thumb is people coming down have the right of way.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's not easy hiking at all. Getting people to understand that is one of the biggest challenges we have here in this park.
At the summit, the view is nothing short of breathtaking. The canyon stretches for miles, revealing all of its unique formations and giving us a new glimpse into Mother Nature's genius.
It's a very difficult hike, but it leads to an absolutely amazing view.